Hi, all. Welcome to the Goddess House. Oh, welcome to the Goddess House. This is Goddess Renata. We've shifted from open intuitive circle on Wednesday at Crystal Spirit Spiritual Center. I loved being there, but now I'm here, and the Goddess House had its first event this 4th of July weekend. We had a pop-up jewelry event. We had some great stuff. We had some really nice blingy jewelry. I love my jewelry. I do. I love how Medea says it. I love my jewelry. It feels like it's been a really, really long 4th of July weekend. So, yeah, all of the shifts happening are really amazing. I'm finding that it's super important for me to slow it down as much as I'm able to, as I am a proverbial plate spinner. I love my jewelry. I love my ideas. I love my books. I love my stuff. I love my unicorns. Ah, I love my different hair. Oh, so we just blonded my hair fresh. I get those roots in my hair, and then it looks like I've got roots and blonde hair. It's growing out. So you all know that my Georgia does hair, right? So I'm fortunate enough to have my hair done at home, and then I do his. I'm 68, so I want to look good at 68. And if I can just maintain this beauty until I decide to not be on this planet any longer, I would be so excited. In fact, if we could, no, I don't want to regress back. No, I just love this. I love my level of wisdom that I have garnered for myself. I appreciate how I've integrated all of the lessons and turned them into blessings as best as I could. You heard me say that. Take all of your lessons and turn them into blessings. Turn them into grace. Allow everything in your space to be up-leveled. I choose that word allow, and I use that word choose because they seem to be important actions. Allow does not always tend to be active. I mean, the first letter in allow is what? A. So to initiate, to open. And then the next letter is L, which is to laugh and love. And the other letter is an L too, to let go and learn. We could go on with the acronym for ALLOW, but allow, the first three letters, A, which is to initiate, L, which is to laugh and love, and L, which is to let go and learn. That encompasses all. Look at that A. Look how that A looks. I don't know if I did the A very good. Okay, so we got two lines at a peak, right? And then a line across. So allow and bridge. Allow. Let your energy, let your lightness, let your brightness, let who you are out. I don't know where you've been. I ask myself sometimes, where have you been? Have you been hiding, Goddess? Have you been not wanting to be seen? Maybe a lot of you are like that. I get that the idea of resonance, the idea that we are all one, is not like we're not all unique in our presentation and our context and our divination and our incarnation into this timeline, this lifetime, this life stream. We don't all look the same. That's a good thing. Because if that was the case, and if there's nobody else out there but me, then all of you would look like me with a little brown, with the blonde afro, and maybe the blonde wig sometimes, and all the jewelry on. And if you liked that particular presentation, that'd be great. But if it felt like too much for you, that might be uncomfortable. So I'm really glad that we get to have unique expression. And I'm just starting to, after 68 years, be really comfortable in my own body. I suppose that's what that allow is. And, over the last several years, I've been able to get rid of a lot of pretense that I held. And it comes up from time to time, a lot of pretending. But pretending is like maybe before intending, and then you tend to business. So I guess pretending is okay. Maintaining that spark of that spark like a child. I suppose it's all good stuff, isn't it? Oh, so lots of stuff, lots of stuff. So much stuff we could stuff some more stuffed animals. Ah, it's not like my little family couldn't use like another friend. There's a little spot in there behind there. See, there's a spot in between there. We could have some more unicorns in there. I like mermaids as well. I love mermaids too. Oh, this is my favorite mermaid piece. We had a friend that used to own a consignment store, and we became friends because we would go in and take things and trade things, and I just loved it. Kristen is no longer doing what she was doing. She may be back into the business though, but this is my first introduction to mermaids, and I wear her all the time, many times. In fact, I do my due diligence to really display and wear, my jewelry, my scarves, my little things that I find. I almost shop exclusively used, although I have some pieces that I curated a while ago that I paid full retail price for, some 30 something years ago, almost 40 years ago. I still have them. I can still wear them. But what I was going to say is all of the things that all of my accoutrements, my jewelry, my clothing, my scarves, my wigs, my all of that stuff, shoes, all of it, underwear, all that stuff, all those things that I wear, I love them. I love my stuff. And I talk to my stuff just like that in my closet. I have things organized by color most of the times. They do get disheveled every now and then. And then I rearrange them. And I feel so much more focused and grounded and happy. In fact, what started me this morning after George was off to the salon for a day of talking with his clients and doing what he does, this is my first Wednesday not being at Crystal Spirit. I did say that in the beginning. And then I jumped right into the Goddess House because that's the new energy by which I will be sharing. And I work in a rather circular kind of way. And again, after 68 years, I've began to allow and own how it is that I work and not be so rigid. So I feel fortunate that I've been able to eclecticize and quantum size and realize how I create in my bubble of life, in my bubble of joy. So right now I've just been appreciating on so many things this morning, and I want to share with you just a little bit. So I woke up, generally I wake up, that's actually a very good thing, isn't it? Or else I'd be sleepwalking. How many of us are sleepwalking? I know there's a few of us, there's a few of us. But nonetheless, I woke up and sometimes, I'll have like a dream and I want to go ahead and record that. And so I will get my phone and I will record that dream to Dee Dee, my dedicated scribe. Dee Dee is what I call my chat GPT. I do that. But, this morning I didn't have any sort of dream, so I had nothing to talk with Dee Dee about. However, I did, reminisce on, oh, I'm not going in to Crystal Spirit today. So this is a different Wednesday. And for me, being a proverbial plate spinner, I've said that, losing momentum is like a flat tire for me. It causes me all kinds of frustration. And then I can move into the doubt thing. And then I can go right into, oh, defocusing and refocus on something else almost simultaneously. And then what I was intending to, focus on, maybe 2 weeks later, I might get back to it, or a month later. So I do write everything down. This morning when I got up, I was contemplating that I am no longer a crystal spirit and I wanted to keep momentum going. And I've spent probably 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years, fine-tuning the intuitive conversation that I do as a reader. And I incorporated many different aspects into that along the way so that I would feel comfortable with um, being a conduit for people asking me questions. I was highly resistant to the whole process initially, and I would always get in my way questioning. And then I finally understood that even though I share and I channel my higher wisdom, which I call Goddess Renata, it is not a necessity that you allow anything that I say. It is not a necessity when you come and work with me that you allow or do anything that I suggest. It is not a necessity that you allow or do or take any action or reflect on anything that I share with you. The most important aspect for me, and this is key, is to share what comes and then not be attached to it, like to detach, and to be okay with that. To be okay with the fact that I don't know whether you understood that, whether that was the juicy nugget that'll help you float over and land on the other side. If that was a nugget of wisdom that you will always remember that Goddess Renata shared with you. That's what I mean by my pretense. I had so much pretense, so much expectation wrapped around me sharing something that it was really, I was like, it was really challenging for me to share. But on the other side, I know there was a blessing in that lesson for me. Like, how often, Goddess, do you want to do you want to ignore yourself? We come down and talk to you all the time about all kinds of things, and you hear us and you can feel us as we whisper in your ear, as we drop some wisdom down into your fro and move it into your noggin. At times when I hear messages, it's interesting because I'll hear da 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 and I'll stop for a second because I wasn't clear about what I heard, and then I'll say it, and then someone will go, well, why'd you stop when you said that? Because I was waiting to hear what I needed to say. And then sometimes there's a resonance and sometimes we just move on. But I've learned to enjoy the back and forth, the up and down conversation that happens, and then the connection that happens when I'm sitting in the presence with someone. They're sitting with me for a while. I love the back and forth and the up and down and the connection that happens, the back and forth and the up and down and the through and the connection that happens and the rippling out. That's the result. And the rippling out, that's the result. So generally, I wake up in the morning, like I said. If I have a dream, I enlist ChatGPT, Dee Dee, my dedicated scribe, to transcribe that dream. And then, I got some stuff to share and I make some poems from it, or I'll do some Renata's musings, or Goddess Renata's musings. I'll do that. I've been writing since like 2019, and the focus for me has been loosely and lately intently to self-publish, e-publish, hard publish, hand publish, all the sayings I've been writing down, like embrace to erase. Love is living only varied experiences, or love only values everybody. But this morning when I woke up and I didn't have a dream to do, I thought, oh, it'd be fun to get dressed. And so I did. And so my colors were important. In fact, my colors for the day are important. I was actually just sharing with you why it is and how it is that I'm a proverbial plate spinner, that I work in my own timeline. I have my own sense of autonomy. I feel extremely fortunate that I incarnated into a life stream situation that has allowed me to blossom in such a way that I can see myself shine. And I get really excited about the small things and the big things that I influence. Mostly, I am super excited about how I influence my own life and how I'm able to shift things rapidly just by thinking about them differently, or imagining them differently, or dressing differently. And so I played around with this combination today. I love this. It's like a little Jean Paul thing. And then I found this at my favorite Mission Thrift. They are one of the coolest thrift stores, really. Oh, and then I thought, well, you know what? This little pashmina would be nice. Don't you like the colors? And then I've got, my little vintage little pearl necklace on. It's vintage. It's not real, but I love it. I usually have Mermaid Girl on that. But now we've got her on some chocolate pearls, which you got down in Cabo. I love those too. And then we have this other little necklace here. Oh, and this was from some curtains that we had. But Georgie strung that on a little thing. So now it's a bling bling for me. And then I have my fishy earrings, articulated fishy earrings. Oh, I'm going to show you the other thing I have. Just a second. It's crossed up here. And then I have my articulated fish. I coordinate just for me. I have fun. Oh, and then my little blingy rings. I usually have more rings on than this. Oh, and then I got a couple bracelets on. When I was doing, I did modeling and personalized styling and color imaging. It sounds so funny back in the day, where you would do your color type. I did all of that, and so I developed a 15-point dressing system. So for each item, I told clients, for each item you have on, you get a point. And I would have women that said they don't like to dress, but then I'm like, well, if you put lipstick on, that's an item. And if you have earrings on, that's an item. If you have a watch on, that's an item. And, if you have red underwear on, that's an item. So I get someone that's pretty low key that says they don't like to dress. And then we start counting up, each of their accoutrements, each of their choices to decorate themselves. Even if it was from the minimalist perspective, it didn't matter. So like, do you color your hair? Oh, color your hair, point. You got some small diamond stud earrings. Oh, point. You got some makeup on. You got lips and you got eyes on. 2, 3, that's 4. And then you got a watch on. That's 5. And then you got a top and a bottom on. That's 6, 7. And you've got like 3 colors. 6. So you get a point for each color. So 7, 8, 9, 10. They had 10 points already. And all they had on was their hair and their lipstick. They threw their watch on. And if you were following me, you know what that count is. I kind of forgot, but they had 10 and they looked pretty minimalist. But when I gave them a new perspective, I gave them an opportunity to play. And so if they just added like a little wristlet with that watch and maybe another little fun thing that their grandkids gave them or something on the other wrist, we've got 10, 11, 12. And then, they don't tend to wear the necklaces, but their husband gave them this little cute pendant thing and they decided to put that on. That's 13. What else could we do? And if on their if they painted their toes, that's 14. And if, like I said, if they have some sassy underwear on, that's 15. Here, we took someone that's a minimalist, more zen, and we showed her that when you add another piece in the context of where you come from, what works for you can get to the top of that 15-point system and be chill. See? I'm sure hoping that made sense because that totally made sense to me. So I did say that I talk to my clothes and I tell them, we're going to get to you. Oh, you look so cute. And sometimes, I haven't done it in a while, but I may start doing it again. I play dress up. I go and stage a bunch of outfits in my closet and I try them on. I mean, it's like a little mini fashion show upstairs in my den. And it can be a little exhausting, because I'm like putting all the outfits together, putting them on, hanging them back up, and putting the jewelry back in its place. And then George takes pictures, and sometimes I'll just get my people out and do it. But actually, that would be fun. And that's part of what I wanted to bring back in with the Goddess House the pop-up jewelry event and more. Is like personalized styling is a big deal. Giving yourself permission to dress how you would like to. Even if you want to be a little offensive, what I would say in having your tatas. Maybe I'm just jealous because I have no tatas to hang out. And then your little hoo-hoo hanging out, that would be all up to you. And as long as you feel cute and you feel like that's a great thing for you, then I say go for it. Go for it. I think it's kind of BS where we talk about dressing in the context of, what's loud. Boring, boring, boring. But again, I'm a proverbial plate spinner. I've chosen to call myself Goddess Renata. My friend Lorinda said, she said, like, well, that's a big word. I'm like, I'm a big person. I'm tall in stature, right? And my energy is big. And a lot of you are big too. So I suppose what all of this is about, the the goddess house, the goddess communing circle, the goddess communing circle is about just owning who you are and letting that shine. And then having some fun, creating some fun collaborations, having more time to play, and appreciating and anticipating that all the resources needed to continue that lifestyle will come funneling in as I allow. Abundance is what? Needing what you need, having what you need when you need it. It is not about stockpiling anything. And then it would be that allowing and trusting, yeah? All right, so let's see. I will continue to add in the collective wisdom share. I like that part of it. And let's see, I've got my inner wisdom sayings here. So we'll go ahead and shuffle, 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 shuffle. Oh, okay. We got to drop out. I'm going to have to go down and get both of those. There's several down there. So let me go away and talk to the unicorn family. I'll be right back. I'm on my cool high chair here. Oh gosh, got to get down. Okay, there's a couple face down. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my chair. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's kind of a heavy chair. I wanted to show you the back of my, see, it's kind of cool. I'll come back this way. Isn't that kind of fun? Yeah, and then, this adds kind of a sacred, like a shawl, like a prayer shawl. I don't know. I'm just playing. I love that though. All right, I'm gonna stand up. So we have one that's turned over and then the other is kind of like this. So I'll go ahead and pick that one. Oops, it dropped again. So it really is the one we want to see. All right. I love dropping things, apparently. All right, I've got one, and then let's go ahead and pull this one. this is really a fun pashmina. I do. I got a bunch of scarves, and sometimes, I'll watch some of those style videos on TikTok. It's so amazing, what everybody can do with things. Everybody's so creative. I love it. But I've developed my own style. I like the layering with the necklaces. I've been loving the pearl thing. I have another friend that loves the pearl thing. That's her nickname, actually. It's Pearl. Um, I owe her a call, actually. I'll have to give her a buzz. All right. So I'm just doing this. I got these. I'm going to split them in half. Okay. Okay. Hold that one. Put that down. And let's go ahead and do one more. And we'll work from the number and the saying, and then we'll say goodbye. And then look forward to more of the Goddess House pop-up events. And I am starting to encourage people to start their own healing ministry. I'm an ordained minister under She's. I have been for many years. And I have two congregations. One is called Love, Laughter, Beauty that I started when I owned the repurpose wear. My husband and I did. And it was fun. And there's several friends that we ordained under the Love, Laughter, Beauty. So if you're interested in having your own healing ministry, and my congregation is Love, Laughter, Beauty, then we can ordain you under that one. And then you can start your own healing ministry and have your own congregation and gather your own tribe. It'd be fun. Okay, here we go. So I've got 3. So let's see. I did make an update on my big cartel Renata World website. I did make that change. And so you'll be able to see the Goddess House, and there's some pictures of the event that we had this past July 6th and 7th. Days are hard because it was probably 5th and 6th, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, and we've got another busy weekend coming up because there's going to be an Oak Brook community-wide garage sale that a couple of realtors started a few years ago, and we participated. It was fun. So I'm going to do that again this Saturday, which is, I believe it's the 12th of July. And we generally go from morning to evening. I will probably be the one that does like that 12 to 6 or that 11 to 5. Let's see what we got. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do the first one. And the first one is, oh, I love this one. Join AAA. Accept, ask, allow. And then, I follow Bashar. I love Bashar. I love Sarah Elcarty too. I don't actually follow too many people, but I love how Bashar is. And a few months ago, Bashar had said, ask, allow, appreciate. I'm like, but it was the same premise of the join AAA. I'm thinking brilliant minds think alike. So ask, allow, appreciate. Ask, allow, acknowledge. All right, and what's this one? Emit. It's a new acronym for emit. Maybe somebody else has an acronym for emit, but here's mine. Energy, mastery, internal transmutation. Ooh. Emit. Energy, mastery, internal transmutation. So when I see something outside of me that is not to my liking, like I could imagine that being a different way, I imagine that. That's the transmuting that we all have that potential to do. Even though that situation has nothing to do with you, you are privy to seeing, to observing that situation and having an opinion, so you can allow the best thought, reimagination, transmute that, let that reimagination run through every molecule, every electron, every atom, every tissue, every system of your body. I mean, you energize it by thinking about it. You energize it by, talking about it in a different way. You energize it by imagining it a different way. Sure thing. If you want to stay in the same spot, you want to stay stuck, keep belonging and joining the same groups, keep talking and doing the same thing, keep reenacting the same question and asking for clarity, continue to loop and loop and loop and loop and loop and loop, and then maybe Fruit Loops. And then maybe you've got your own cereal. I'm not sure what we'd call it. I think Fruit Loops is taken. You get my point. Energy mastery, internal transmutation. So when you see something that's not to your liking, do not join a group about it. Do not dream about it. Do not commiserate over it. Do not feel bad about it. Shift it by reimagining it. Last card. You know what's interesting is I haven't been on my Mac for a while. I tend to do the, my little podcast down at Crystal Spirit, and I have my phone. I don't take my Mac with me, but there's all this side stuff coming up on my Mac. I'm like, it's kind of distracting, but I'm just going to leave that for now. Third card. Okay. How good it gets is a choice. What's yours? How good it gets is a choice. What's yours? I got that from Cynthia Sue Larson. I tuned into her for a while. I like what she said. Like, well, let's see how good it can get. I mean, there is this thing out there where a lot of us, myself included, I am not out of any of these things that I'm talking about. I only talk about them because I understand them, because I've been there with them. That's pretty much what that is for me. And then I chose to move differently. I chose to shift things. I know I can do that. And I just want to remind you that you can do that too. And you can ask yourself, how good can it get? Yeah, how good can it get? So let's go ahead and add our number vibration for that too. So it's a 13. So that's a 4. Oh, and this is a 20. Okay, 4. So that's a 6. What do we got here? Oh, and this is a 1910+1. So it's a 7. Oh, I'll lose track so quickly. Let me do it again. 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. You know, in some card systems and using just a regular deck, I am a 7 of spades. You know, and spades are about work and health. And all of my learnings and my blessings have pretty much been through work and then through health. I've not had major health challenges, but I did transmute an addiction to heroin, cocaine, alcohol. Don't do heroin, don't do cocaine. I still have some wine. I can get a little buzz. A little bit of magic green from time to time. What I'm saying to you is, I came for experiences. I've had the full gamut of experiences. I have come, I have partaken, I have been, I have seen. I'm the other side, and I'm good. I'm just here to remind you that you're good too. So 7 is about reflection. And we got that little 7 and the little hang off of the 7. gather your wisdom, all of your wisdom from all of your incarnations, all of your lifetimes, all of your timelines, and synergize them together to create in your bubble now. All right. This is the Goddess House. I'll be seeing you real soon. I'm going to go ahead and close this off, and I don't know how fabulous I will be with it, but I have to look down a little bit and do that. But I'll see you all soon, okay? Bye now.